Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amelia and I do videos on handbags, shoes and beauty. So today we're going to be doing a beauty video. I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes that I own and personally use. So if you enjoy these kind of videos, do consider subscribing. I'm going to place the subscribe button over here, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. First palette that I'm going to show you, I believe it's like my holy grail palette. I will always recommend this palette because it's just that amazing. So it's actually this palette that I have from TARTE, which is the MANEATER palette. They didn't used to have this in Singapore, but I know that it came out like a few months ago and they finally brought it in, even though this has been in the US for many years already. Strangely enough, they don't even have this in the Sephora US store. They only sell this and stock this at they only stock this at US Ulta stores. So I actually have to go to Ulta just to get this. And I think I got my friend to buy this if I'm not wrong. It's a neutral palette. I prefer neutral shades, obviously. It's so easy to use. So it looks like that. It has a big mirror over here. It's a little bit dirty, and then these are the shades that you have inside. It's all neutrals. I'll probably do like a cutaway or something. So yeah, as you can see, I've already hit pan on like this shade here and this shade over here, and yeah, I just really like this palette. I think it's like it has a good range and a good variety of shimmers and mattes, and it even has a black, even though I don't use the black one very often. But I think a black is very essential, especially if you're like, you like your makeup. I think black is essential if you want to create like a, instead of using eyeliner, you use a black eyeshadow. So I think that's great. This is so compact as well. I have it in my travel makeup pouch or like my everyday makeup pouch. It never goes away. It's just there all the time. I really like this. If I finish this, I probably get another one, and I'm already considering getting one just as a backup because that's how much I love it. So the next palette I have to show you is quite a new one, and it's from Natasha Denona. It looks like that. And then it's basically one of their mini palettes, and this is in the palette Mini Star. It comes with 5 different shades. A lot of people will tell you that the mini palettes are not as a bang for your buck, unlike the bigger palettes, even though the bigger palettes cost more obviously. But in terms of like cost per grammage, right, the mini palette is not the best lah. But I like this one because of the variety of shades inside. It has this really nice duochrome shade. It seems very like greenish and pale, but actually it comes off like a brown, if you can see. So it's quite neutral and quite easy to wear. It has like a duochrome shift to it as well, and then it comes with 2 mattes over here and then 2 shimmers. The one that I use the least will be this gold one over here. I think that one is a little bit harder to use, but I think if you want to use it as like a topper, I think it's a great shade as well. So the third palette I'm going to show you is actually this Marc Jacobs palette. It's also an older palette. I don't think you can get this anymore. This is in the shade 206 Lolita palette. Back in the days, it's one of like the holy grail, like used for makeup, like wedding tutorial kind of like palette. So it looks like this inside. It has a mirror over here, and then it comes, I still kept the packaging. So it looks like that. It's a row of neutral shades, starting from the light one over here. So these are 3 mattes, and then you also have 3 shimmers over here, and then this one is a slight glitter shade. So I really like using this palette for like my awards nights, etc., because the glitter is really nice and creates like a really nice sparkle, and because it's so neutral, it's very easy to use and I really like it. The shadow quality is amazing. It's very buttery soft, which is what I like, but not too crumbly. You know, like some shades are very soft and then they end up being too crumbly, so this is not one of them. So moving on into something slightly more affordable. I had this for the longest time and it's so beaten up, and it's this palette by Wet n Wild. Yes, Wet n Wild, and it's in the shade Walking on Eggshells. It's so beaten up that the packaging has spoiled, and as you can see, I really like hit pan on the last one over there. I really like it, and that's how much I've been using it. They have recently come up with a new one, so this is actually the new palette over here, which I've got like quite a few years ago. It's also called Walking on Eggshells, but now there is 4 shades inside. So to be honest, they look slightly different. As you can tell, the shades are not all similar. Maybe the most similar shade will be the brownish one. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, they actually try to keep it the same, but I'm not sure in terms of formulation. They're slightly different, and the only one that they added in was this one, which is like a matte shade that you can use for transitioning. So I think this is actually a great addition as well. If you can't find the older one, this is the new one, which I highly recommend. I'm not sure in Singapore where you can get it. I got it from, like, you know, those like in shopping centers, they usually have those random side stalls that sell random makeup from NYX, etc., and that's where I got it. So perhaps you can try this online site called Beauty Pop. Is it Beauty Pop? I'm not sure. I'm going to link it over here because I haven't been buying from there, obviously, so I'm just going to link it up for you. The next palette that I have is the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. This palette is also like a holy grail for a lot of the beauty people out there if you really like your eyeshadows. So it looks like this, although there is a new version called Soft Glam, which has more neutral shades. So this one actually has a lot of pinkish tones, as you can see. So mainly I use these 6 shades over here, but there's also this one that I use quite a lot, and this one as well. But then the rest of the shades, it's highly pigmented, so you have to be really light-handed on these shadows. But I've already hit pan on one of them, especially this Tempera one, which I really like. So yeah, that's the Modern Renaissance palette as well. And then I also have this Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. You'll be surprised to know that I didn't include any of the Naked palettes over here. I really like them. I actually have all of them, but I threw away the first one because it was too old, and I'm just very worried to use it on my eyes. I bought it when it first came out, like many years, like maybe almost a decade ago, and then subsequently I bought the second one and the third one. To be honest, I prefer the first and second. The third one is a bit useless, I would say, because the shade and the pigment is not very strong, and it kind of all looks similar. So if you want to, I'll highly recommend either the first palette, either the first original Naked palette or the second one. I don't know why I keep having to reformat my, you know, memory card. So if you have an answer to that, please let me know, because like every few videos I have to reformat it. If not, it shows like there's no more space left when there actually is. So anyway, the next palette that I want to show you is actually this palette by Urban Decay. It's the Gwen Stefani palette. Looks something like that. I don't think you can get this palette anymore, but I really like it. It comes with a big mirror over here. It's a little bit dirty, and then it comes with many neutral shades, including like some pops of color over here. There's a black in this palette, which is much appreciated. Yeah, I really like this palette because of the shimmers, and there's a good number of mattes. The mattes that I usually use are these 3 over here. They're very warm, because I prefer warm shades. I used to prefer cooler shades, but I don't know, I think the last few years I just prefer like slightly warmer tones on my eyes. So that's the Urban Decay palette. And the last palette I'm going to show you is actually by MAC. It's actually this eyeshadow 15 warm neutral palette. It looks like that. I bought this palette at duty free, I think at US, because US for MAC is slightly cheaper. So yeah, it comes with this plastic casing. It doesn't come with a mirror, so it's just plain. And it has all these neutral shades, including some greenish tone ones. I think it's just the camera, it's not that green. Actually, I think this is slightly olive. It's not appearing on the camera in their exact tones actually. But this one is also not that greenish, it's slightly yellow. Yeah, so it comes with many shimmers. I think there's only a couple of matte shades here. So this one is matte, and then these two are also matte. The rest are all like slight shimmer, which is what I like, because I like to have like a wash of shimmer on my eye, and then I'll usually use the matte shades to in the crease or in the outer corners to just define it a little bit. So yeah, here, those are all my palettes that I have been loving and using. I've downsized my palettes quite a lot. I used to buy like a lot of random palettes, a lot of Urban Decay, because that was like the in thing last time. I think moving on, I'm not going to buy so much eyeshadows, but I do have all those like single pot eyeshadows that I really like. I've been collecting some MAC ones and some ColourPop ones, but I've stopped buying ColourPop like a few years ago. So yeah, I think the Natasha Denona ones are really good, and I highly recommend the Tarte palette obviously. So if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!